UK hybrid SUV owners are waking up to a nightmare. Values have collapsed nearly 50%, dealers are turning people away at the door, and 2026 is making it dramatically worse. These are the 20 models hitting owners hardest. Number 20. The Peugeot 3008 PHEV sits in one of the most saturated segments in the entire market. And that saturation is absolutely destroying residual values across the board. This model is suffering heavy depreciation. Brand new, you are looking at anywhere from £30,000 to £35,000, depending on your chosen specification and trim level. 3 years later, used examples trade hands for barely £20,000 on dealer forecourts. That is a 40% loss right off the bat. But the real problem emerges once you dig deeper into actual reliability data from owner forums. The infotainment system suffers from software glitches that dealers patch inconsistently across different dealerships and regions. Some owners report complete touchscreen failures, requiring expensive replacements, and Peugeot's track record for post-warranty support outside the 3-year period is not stellar by any standard. Buyers shopping the second-hand market know all this information well. They have read the forums exhaustively. They have seen common faults reported repeatedly by multiple owners. When they spot a 3008 PHEV on a forecourt, they factor in the risk carefully before making their offer. Number 19. The Renault Arcana E-Tech is positioned as the stylish family choice with practicality. It is spacious, economical, and at first glance it offers very good value for money to families. But the market turned decidedly cold on Renault's plug-in strategy. The Arcana dropped 43% in value. That depreciation rate is significantly worse than comparable Kias or Toyotas. Renault's dealer network outside major cities proves thin, and owners face painful journeys to reach qualified technicians. Additionally, the dual-clutch transmission shifts with occasional hesitation. Buyers familiar with smoother transitions in competitors do not pay premium prices. Number 18. The Jeep Wrangler 4xe Hybrid costs £60,000 new or more. The plug-in system adds tremendous complexity to a vehicle built for simplicity. Early owners report hybrid issues before 30,000 miles. The battery pack creates cooling challenges in harsh terrain conditions. Water crossings, mud, and rocky terrain create hostile environments for sensitive battery systems. Buyers appreciate durability, and they will not pay top dollar for a hybrid variant that trades ruggedness for unnecessary complexity. Number 17. The Citroën C5 Aircross plug-in hybrid electric vehicle was designed specifically with fleet operators in mind from the very beginning. Company car tax advantages made it extremely appealing when it was first launched to market. Now those beneficial tax advantages have been slashed dramatically by government policy decisions, and fleet returns flood the second-hand market every single week without fail. When supply exceeds demand that dramatically across the market, prices collapse quite rapidly without support. The Citroën brand itself carries noticeably less prestige than German competitors in the second-hand market sector, and the body style, once fashionable and modern, looks increasingly dated against newer arrivals from Hyundai and Kia. Owners who bought based purely on operational costs and efficiency now watch their residual value disappear at a pace significantly faster than comparable petrol equivalents in the same segment. Number 16. The Jeep Compass 4xe suffers from excessive complexity mounted onto a platform that does not handle it gracefully or effectively. The four-wheel drive system, the hybrid components, and the modern gadgetry all compete for valuable real estate in the engine bay at the same time. Owners report multiple warranty visits within the first year of ownership quite regularly. One UK forum documented a Compass 4xe that required a complete hybrid module replacement at just 8 weeks old. This is not an isolated one-off situation. It is an emerging pattern across the model lineup. Dealers are seeing these failures crop up regularly, and used buyers are hearing about them with concerning consistency. They are adjusting their offers downward quite significantly because of these reliability issues. Number 15. The Skoda Superb IV plug-in hybrid electric vehicle was well-intentioned at launch, a luxury-trimmed, spacious family car with plug-in capability built into the design. But the engine management software, particularly the transition between electric and combustion modes, displays a slight stumble that reviewers consistently report across multiple independent professional tests. It is not a dramatic fault affecting drivability. It is a subtle hesitation that absolutely should not exist in a car carrying a £40,000 price tag when new. More significantly, Škoda's parent company Volkswagen has faced ongoing issues with plug-in hybrid architecture across its entire MQB platform, which is used widely. Technical service bulletins pile up constantly from the manufacturer. Owner forums fill with detailed reports of software incompatibility between the mild hybrid system and battery hardware components, creating maintenance nightmares. Number 14. The Mini Countryman Cooper SE plug-in hybrid electric vehicle launched during the absolute height of hybrid enthusiasm, when everyone expected these vehicles to succeed commercially. It carried a premium badge, a compact footprint, and an appealing design to attract buyers seeking efficiency and style. The reality of ownership proved considerably less rosy than the marketing suggested. The electric range comes in below 20 miles on real-world driving cycles, so most journeys use the petrol engine for virtually every trip. You paid thousands extra for a battery that is basically unused on most days, and for most of the miles you actually drive. The Mini brand's heritage does not extend meaningfully to electric vehicles. Buyers see the Countryman as a rebadged Mini with a bolted-on battery system, not a purpose-engineered solution developed specifically for this powertrain. Number 13. The Volvo XC40 T5 recharge plug-in hybrid electric vehicle does deliver genuine electric capability with a legitimate electric range. The Swedish engineering is solid and well proven by independent testing. Scandinavian design appeals to certain buyer demographics quite strongly, but the market has turned decisively against plug-in hybrids across the entire industry. The XC40 Recharge's electric range impresses only until you realise most journey combinations never fully deplete the battery, making you pay several £1,000s for capability you never actually use during normal driving. Volvo's traditional buyer base skews older and conservative in their purchasing decisions and maintenance expectations. Number 12. The Hyundai Tucson PHEV sits in the family SUV space where severe depreciation hits particularly hard. The hybrid system is competent but unexceptional in real-world driving. Hyundai's warranty reputation helps initially, but the plug-in complexity creates unexpected maintenance costs after warranty expiry that buyers discover too late. Used market data shows the Tucson PHEV losing 46% of value in just 3 years. That is significantly worse than the standard petrol Tucson. Buyers familiar with the non-hybrid version will not pay premium prices for the added complexity and battery risk. Your finance did not account for these losses, but the market absolutely prices them in during resale. Number 11. The Range Rover Sport P500e is expensive and impractical, a masterclass in misalignment between purchase price and second-hand demand in the luxury segment. New, you are committing £58,000 to £65,000, depending on options. The hybrid system removes the third row of seats entirely from the vehicle design. The battery pack sits where extra seating would otherwise fold down. You have paid significantly more for a vehicle with less practicality than the standard Range Rover Sport. Electronic faults across the battery management system have generated technical service bulletins from Land Rover. Owners report dashboard warning lights for electrical systems that dealers cannot identify or remedy quickly, even with dealer equipment. Number 10. The Ford Kuga PHEV returns to the family SUV market with promise, but it delivers depreciation nightmares. The plug-in hybrid system adds £10,000 to the purchase price, without corresponding appeal in the second-hand market. The hybrid architecture creates complex maintenance scenarios after the warranty expires, and Ford's traditional buyers seek simplicity, not battery complexity. The Kuga PHEV loses 49% of its value in 3 years on average. That is significantly worse performance than the standard Kuga. Used buyers comparing prices adjust their offers downward when they see the plug-in battery notation. Number 9. The Audi Q5 55 TFSIe faces premium depreciation that hits owners hard. The Q5 is spacious and well appointed in both trim and technology, yet the plug-in hybrid adds complexity without offsetting appeal. Audi's dual architecture, combining the turbocharged engine, hybrid system, and quattro all-wheel drive, creates servicing challenges after warranty coverage expires. The battery pack reduces interior storage space noticeably. Independent garages cannot diagnose the hybrid-specific electronic faults reliably. You are locked into official Audi dealership servicing at premium rates. Depreciation runs 47% across 3 years. Number 8. The BMW X5 xDrive 50e plug-in hybrid carries one of the market's most powerful plug-in hybrid powertrains available. Yet early ownership reports show complete hybrid system failures before 35,000 miles on multiple examples. Dealers are replacing entire hybrid modules within the first month of ownership. This represents an emerging reliability pattern. The plug-in architecture removes the 7-seat option that the standard X5 offers buyers. The battery pack sits beneath the boot floor where the third row would otherwise fold. Boot capacity drops by 150 litres at minimum. You have paid significant money for a car with less practicality. Number 7. The Volkswagen Tiguan e-hybrid models made before 2024 offer genuine electric range on paper, but real-world performance disappoints. The current generation manages only 50 miles on a full electric charge. Most journeys never deplete the battery fully, wasting the expensive plug-in system entirely. The DSG gearbox on the hybrid variant handles electric to combustion transitions with noticeable hesitation, which multiple publications have documented. Volkswagen's plug-in hybrid software across the MQB platform has generated sufficient technical service actions that buyers factor it into negotiations. The used market sees strong supply from fleet returns, driving depreciation downward constantly. Number 6. The Porsche Cayenne e-hybrid represents the ultimate miscalculation in luxury SUV hybrid deployment. Porsche added the plug-in system for marketing purposes rather than addressing actual buyer needs or desires. The battery pack cost nearly £15,000, added to already premium pricing. The electric range manages only 30 miles in real driving conditions. Most owners never charge the vehicle regularly. They treat it as an overpriced petrol car. The hybrid complexity adds servicing costs that Porsche dealers charge at stratospheric rates after the warranty ends. Depreciation hits 52% in 3 years. That's devastating for a vehicle commanding £70,000 when new. Number 5. The Mercedes-Benz GLE 350D, a diesel-electric hybrid, represents Mercedes attempting to merge diesel with hybrid technology for efficiency gains. The combination creates unexpected maintenance scenarios and parts compatibility issues. The diesel particulate filter interacts with battery management in ways that create diagnostics only dealers can run. After warranty expiry, servicing costs escalate dramatically. Used buyers see the diesel hybrid combination and adjust offers downward substantially. Mercedes' traditional depreciation already challenges owners, but the plug-in system accelerates value loss further. The GLE loses 48% in 3 years. Number 4. The BMW 530e plug-in hybrid sedan offers executive space and plug-in capability, but the sedan format and hybrid complexity do not translate to strong second-hand appeal. The electric range reaches only 32 miles in real-world testing. Most journeys use the petrol engine exclusively, wasting the hybrid investment. The battery management software interacts problematically with the luxury electronics. Dashboard warning lights appear without clear diagnostic reasons. Dealers struggle to troubleshoot the hybrid-specific electrical faults. Depreciation runs 45% across 3 years. That is approaching £50,000 in lost value for early buyers. Number 3. The Audi Q8 TFSIe plug-in hybrid combines size, weight and complexity in ways that damage residual values significantly. The massive vehicle requires proportionally large battery packs that occupy valuable interior space. The electric range reaches only 30 miles in favourable conditions. Real-world testing shows the petrol engine running constantly on typical driving patterns. You have paid extra for unused battery capacity that occupies trunk space. The tri-system design, combining a turbocharger, hybrid motors and quattro, creates servicing complexity that independent garages cannot touch. Depreciation reaches 49% in 3 years. Number 2. The Hyundai Ioniq plug-in hybrid electric vehicle first generation shows how hybrid depreciation has worsened over time. Early plug-in hybrid adopters paid premium prices expecting value retention. Instead, the market turned cold on the entire powertrain concept. The Ioniq hybrid loses 48% in 3 years. That is faster than the petrol-only Ioniq. Buyers recognize the battery risk. The warranty does not extend far enough to cover battery aging costs. Used examples appear with heavily degraded charging capability. Sellers find buyers reducing offers by thousands when they learn the car is the hybrid variant. Number 1. The Kia Niro PHEV first generation represents the early plug-in hybrid enthusiasm that has completely evaporated from the market. Kia built these vehicles expecting strong second-hand demand from buyers, but the market rejected the plug-in concept entirely. The Niro PHEV loses 47% of its value in just 3 years. That is significantly worse than the standard petrol Niro sedan. The battery system adds weight without proportional range extension. The electric motor adds mechanical complexity without achieving smooth integration between power sources. The dual-clutch transmission shifts hesitantly between power sources. Used buyers read owner forums and discover reliability concerns affecting longevity, and they adjust their offers downward accordingly. The buyers caught in these vehicles made one identical decision fundamentally. They paid extra for technology, powertrain complexity, or positioning that second-hand markets simply do not reward adequately. They trusted marketing promises entirely. They trusted manufacturers' claims. They trusted that the hybrid premium would be reflected in residual values. They were decisively wrong. Contrast this with the Toyota RAV4 hybrid. Not the plug-in variant, but the standard self-charging hybrid system. It holds approximately 60% of its value at 3 years consistently. No expensive battery to fail unexpectedly. No charging socket to complicate ownership unnecessarily. No manufacturer delivering false promises about efficiency that require perfect driving conditions to materialize. Toyota's hybrid system has been refined since 1997 continuously. It works reliably. It lasts impressively. Used buyers pay accordingly. The real lesson is not complicated at all. The second-hand market rewards 3 specific things fundamentally: simplicity, reliability, and brand trust built over many decades. These 20 vehicles had maybe 1 or 2 of those qualities. Toyota RAV4 hybrids have all 3 in abundance. That is why they hold value. That is why they always will hold value. If you are considering any hybrid purchase whatsoever, you need to understand residual value economics thoroughly before you commit your hard-earned money. Every week, we publish detailed analysis on which vehicles are heading for serious trouble before the market figures it out. Subscribe today to be informed and protected before you make your commitment. One single video decision can save you more than £20,000. Every word on this channel is grounded firmly in real UK depreciation trackers, reliability surveys, and forum analysis from actual owners. That information dealers definitely do not want you seeing. If you want to be protected from the exact decisions detailed in this video, subscribe now. Your future self will sincerely thank you.